So I've been asked to share my relationship spread, which is kind of difficult because it involves including someone else in the reading. So I have considered a friend. I know they're not connected to me on social media or YouTube, and it is someone where the communication has just ebbed away. I'm sure you've all had people like that in your life where simply there's a silence grows, and I'm very drawn to reconnect to this individual again, and I want to use this reading to decide, is it appropriate to reach out, and if it is, how should I reach out? Now, I've shuffled the cards already because I wanted to take my time doing this. And before you do a relationship spread, whether it's for you or for someone else, the first question you need to ask yourself is, do you want this spread to be about advice or prediction? I want this relationship spread to be about advice. And often when I'm reading for clients, particularly if it's about a marriage or a long-term relationship, clients may say to me, yes, I'm happy for you to look at my marriage, but I don't really want a prediction. I want to know how to make it work rather than to see that it might not work. And I think this is really important because sometimes, particularly in a long-term relationship, if you just focus on prediction, you may be sowing the seeds of doubt that is really not helpful. So before you shuffle the cards, you need to think about two things. Who is the other person? And it goes without saying, this does not have to be a romantic relationship. Mine isn't. And do you want to do this reading for prediction? What is the flow of the relationship? Or are you doing this for advice? How do I best navigate this relationship? And then I don't like complicated spreads. So this is quite a simple one, or at least it feels simple to me. So we start with reading for either yourself, if you're reading for yourself, or your clients. We are talking about basically client and self and then other. And the first card represents in this spread me and what is my connection with this friend. And it is a very intuitive connection. It's a very sparky connection. We do have quite a we tend to reach out at the same time. We tend to want to connect about the same things. I don't think there's sexual chemistry there, though the Ace of Wands could be sexual chemistry. To me, it feels much more like a crown energy and intuitive connection. The next card is something that's crossing me in this relationship, something that I need to overcome. Because in every relationship, both partners are going to have blocks or problems or things they need to learn from the relationship. So connecting with this friend does make me feel a bit anxious, to be honest. This friend is someone that I wouldn't normally connect with. He's out of what I would call my comfort zone, and that is a good thing, but sometimes it holds me back within the friendship. And how I connect with them, and this is really interesting because the Seven of Wands, of course, can be unique and an individual, and I do think I am myself within this friendship. But the connection between these two, to me, speaks of defensiveness. And in a good relationship spread, we need to be looking at the pluses, the pros and the cons of both people. There's no point doing a relationship spread if you're just going to blame the problem on the other person. So when I look at this, I understand that maybe I've been quite defensive within this friendship. Now we're going to look at them. A lot of people will say they don't do third-party readings because they feel that it's prying. This relationship spread is only looking at the connection between me and them. It is not looking at their personal life. It's not looking at their romantic life, their family life, their financial life, their work life. It is looking for the part in our relationship where we meet. So I don't feel it's intrusive. To me, it is staying focused on our relationship rather than his private life. So we have the Page of Swords. So we can now see that actually both of us are quite defensive. And I do feel, when I see the Page of Swords, I often feel it's the kind of person that when you ask them a question about themselves, they answer it with a question back. They can be quite elusive. You're never quite sure who they are. You know, you say, how are you? And within 2 seconds, they've turned it round to, but how are you? And that really rings true for me. Something he needs to overcome, something he needs to integrate, which is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a card of very much spiritual practices. I link it as a Norse shaman, of course, to the Hanged Man. And we have connected more over the years on a spiritual level than we have in the physical or the mundane world, which I think can be seen by the link between the Ace of Wands and the Hanged Man. And how is he connecting with me? The Eight of Pentacles. Well, arguably, I don't normally look at which way the cards are faced. I normally prefer to look at the individual symbols, but it is very clear in this one that he's got his back to me, that he's absorbed in other things. There is a sense here perhaps of avoidance and defensiveness, that the communication has just got lost. Arguably, my friend may be feeling that he wants to finish a project or finish a course of study before he reaches out to me, which would resonate with this person. So I think we can definitely see that there's some missed communication there. I've got a lot of Wands energy. He's got a more blended energy, but there just seems to be this miscommunication. Now, at this point, it will depend whether you are reading for prediction or whether you're reading for advice. If you are reading for prediction, then if it was me, I would put 3 cards down the middle. 1 for the past, 1 for the present, and 1 for the future. And I would read them in that direction. But I've chosen to read for advice instead. So still the 3 cards, but just for advice. The Page of Wands, another Wands card, lots of Wands. That would suggest if I choose to open conversation, opening conversation about something that we're both fascinated by, which of course is our spiritual lives. The Three of Swords is a really clear indication that it is okay to reach out, and that it would be good for me to reach out with emotional honesty, where I can tend to be a bit defensive based on my own inner demons, if you like. And the Chariot, a feeling that if I reach out based on a common interest and I'm emotionally honest, that the friendship will move forward. Card at the bottom of the pack, always worth checking. The Tower, that maybe it is right for me to reach out. Maybe both of us have been hiding behind our defences a little bit. And that's how I do my relationship spread. I like it because it's equally weighted on both people. A lot of clients will come to me and it's all about the other person. It's all about them. And if I'm reading for a client, I can't change them. I can't control them. They are not asking me for advice. So this reading starts with my client. It suggests empowerment and that the client can make changes to the relationship before it moves on to the other person. So give it a go. I mean, I created this spread. So if there's things about this that annoys you, or if there are things about this that you wished weren't there, or that you would like to add, then change it and make it work for you. And let me know in the comments if you do decide to alter the spread. Share it in the comments, because I love how people are sharing their insights in the comments, making this a much deeper resource for everyone than if it's only me sharing my wisdom as well. And as always, I am still working on the tech, so all feedback on tech is gratefully received. I am listening, I am learning, and I am working to improve this experience both for you and for me.